Gosh, yes, Charlene. Gee, why should we worry about plastic waste? Because it's a small planet. Your waste always ends up in somebody else's backyard. And right now, they're being overwhelmed by it. If that's not enough to gross you out, look at the pictures on the internet of the animals that are being affected. The albatross with their bitty bellies full of the lids from your bottles. What about the sea turtle with your straw right through its nose? No, it's not funny. It means the critter's going to die. What about it's really not funny. It's a plastic catastrophe, is what it is, actually. This we use about 4 pounds of trash per day per human being. I'll say that again. 4 pounds per day is what you use every day. You multiply that times your household. That's why you have to have somebody haul away the trash. Actually, 4 pounds is about a pound and a half more than we used to use in 1960. Look at the monster we've created. This is P.W. Mon, also known as Plastic Waste Monster. And we feed it daily, daily. He eats everything we can give him and keeps growing and growing. This is a monster, folks. But if you're watching the show, I don't have to tell you that this is a concern. You're already on with it. So let's talk about some ways that we can combat it. First, in the kitchen, one of the biggest culprits of how not to do things. First of all, your dish soap containers. This is the large size of this brand, and I'm not promoting a brand or another brand. This is the dollar one from the dollar store. And if you buy one of these when you go to the grocery store every time, that's a lot of plastic. That's really a lot of plastic. This one is bigger, so you'll use less of it. You could also take your empty container and go to that fabulous grocery store in Springs or Denver and just fill it up from the bulk container and then take this back home with you. Same brand, same everything. It's just in your container. You don't have to buy the plastic every time. Water bottles. We started this conversation talking about these doggone water bottles. Darn things. They're horrible. They're ubiquitous. Good God. Ugh. And to tell you the truth, I use them when we travel. But the recommended thing, of course, is, and a little 6-year-old gave this to me because she saw that I had a plastic bottle. 6 years old, and she gave me this. I made these from a tea, fancy tea that I buy at the loaf and jug, and then I put my cozy on it, and I keep that in the fridge. Keeps the water colder, longer, actually. Another switch over that is just so big. You have a set of these. Don't you love them? You just throw your leftovers right there. But you know what? It doesn't last long. It's plastic. And to tell you the truth, they can recycle it once. Did you know that? Even when we talk about recycling plastics, this is why the United States does not have its own recycling plant. Did you always wonder if we're the biggest consumers in the world, why doesn't the United States have its own plastic processing plant? One word. You can only recycle it once. The best way is to go away from it. This is the new version. Glass bottom. You see it? Glass bottom. It is a plastic top, but there's no way around that. Just lock it down. This is what grandmother used to use. We got to be going back to the ways that grandma did things. It's a glass container, glass lid, and there's that. You can put a rubber band right around here so that it has a plastic lip so it holds tighter, but that's the only thing. What about these little things? Nasty little things. This is a snack bag size. Don't you just love them? I love them. Little snacks for the kids. It's a little half bag. You don't have to use the whole sandwich bag. But you know what? We are addicted to these. We allow ourselves to be sucked into an easy life, with these doggone little bags. This is what you can do. Have you ever heard of this stuff? It's called bee wrap, and it's sticky. It sticks. So when you put a sandwich in it and you tighten it up, it stays that way. You can buy it like this. This was made for me by a beekeeper, and this is one that I bought from the internet. It has different sizes of the bee wax. They're called bee wax wraps. When you go to the grocery store, you might have some of these different bags that, gosh, look at that. Isn't that amazing? It has a Ziploc in it. It's a Ziploc. Don't throw them away. If you have to buy them, don't throw them away, because you can reuse them over and over. We've got a place that we do that in my house. Next biggest offender is the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom right here. Okay, first, hand soap. This is what it looks like now. This is what my household is changing to. We're going back to Grandma's day. Got some really nice soaps, and we're not going to buy these anymore. This is the very last one in my house, and when it's gone, it's gone. I also buy lotion. Nice goat milk lotion. Yes, love this stuff. But see, this is just a jar, just a pickles jar with it's mason cap, and then we punched a hole in it, and then we have our lotion, and we put it 3 different places in our bathroom. When I went to look and see what we did with our shampoos, because I ordered shampoo bars, but we had 7 of these things. 7 of these awful pieces of plastic, and it just goes on and on and on. I don't know why we had 7, but I have a daughter. Does that answer the question? But anyway, you can buy shampoo bars, and they're yummy, just yummy. And they will do all the things that shampoo does. They make your hair shiny, manageable. Oh my goodness, yes. So you can go with that. It's a matter of changing. And toothbrushes. We're supposed to use 1 toothbrush in the morning, 1 in the evening, right? That's 1 person, times 4 in your family, times 52 weeks out of the year. That's 32 toothbrushes per family. No, per person. So you multiply that times 4 in the family, you've got a lot of toothbrushes. I ordered bamboo handle toothbrushes, and the bristles are also a natural fiber that disintegrate. So you can feel okay throwing them away because they will disintegrate. That's the whole point, is we want the stuff to disintegrate. Picture that toothbrush washing up on Bali High, which is a small, picturesque island of dreams with beautiful beaches that you cannot use because they're covered in plastic from all the cruise ships and all of the people that come to visit, and they just dump their trash. So picture your family with bamboo handled toothbrushes. They aren't that much more expensive. Now shopping. Let's talk about shopping. Even the reusable shopping bag at your grocery store is plastic. Did you know that? I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. This is an old bag. Handles. Nice handles. Take it to the grocery store, but this one's made out of cotton. It's pretty old. And instructions for making shopping bags out of old recycled t-shirts is on the internet. So you can just make your own. Just cut, and you got it done. Those shampoo bars come from places like ethicalearth.com and zerowastecartel.com. So see there, you can take what you've got, just change it a little bit, and you've got what you need. But you've done away with a world of plastic. Now, when you go shopping, we were talking about going shopping, you've got kids, and you want to buy them Jell-O cups. Oh, yes, they're pre-done, they're cheap, they're in a little plastic individualized cup for each kid, and guess what? They They have a lot of stabilizers in them. That's why they're not in the refrigerator. You make Jell-O, 1 pack of Jell-O, 57 cents, makes 4 of these. These are half-cup containers. These are mason jars. I love mason jars. Buy a package of them. You can use them for everything. If you want snack cups, say you go to the grocery store and you want to buy your children some snack cups, little portions, you know, Cheerios, Oreos. So you get out your mason jar, the little jelly jar size. Here, Hito, here's your snack. You bet. You got it taken care of. And if you don't want to give them glass, there are available the little snack cups that are aluminum, a little bit less toxic, or steel, that are a little bit less toxic that you can use for your kids. Okay. You can also purchase food in bulk. I bought some gallon mason jars, about this big, for bulk. The packaging on everything is plastic. You go and look at your basket in the grocery store, and oh my God, it's all plastic. Everything I bought was plastic. It's the most horrible thing. But you can take those large mason jars. Again, King Soopers has a great section on bulk. And so you can buy cereal, you can buy pasta, buy rice in that bulk form. Even if you just buy a larger package of the brand that you usually use, will cut down on your trash. You save money and you avoid unnecessary packaging. Charlene, do you have any questions?
I do. First of all, this is really an eye-opener, and I think I started buying things of what you're recommending about 2 years ago because I found a store in Denver. I think it's called the Wandering Nomad, and it just has all these wonderful things, and you buy in bulk. And you know what? Our grandmothers were really wise because they had everything in glass jars. They were pretty glass jars. I still have a few of them. I'm glad I saved them. And they also used to make lye soap. I still remember that we grew up, with lye soap, and that was really, 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 like I said, they were really wise women. But I do have a question. These seem like little things that everyone can do, but if you're in a lower income family, do these things really apply?
Oh, that's a great question, Charlene. You hit the nail on the head. We need to talk to people who are the biggest consumers, friends who are the biggest consumers of this stuff. That's why you have money, you don't like this shampoo, you go and buy another and another and another and another. And that's probably how we ended up with 7 of these. We're very particular folks, but there are products now that can go to your particular likes or dislikes, but they cost money. This silicone keeper for snacks and leftovers, $10. $10 at Nature's Grocery. And I try to buy one every time I go, but I found that I don't really like them that much. I'd rather use B-wrap. I'd rather use tin foil, or just use my little jars for leftovers instead of using these. But they are available. So I think we need to encourage more people that are big consumers, which is all of us in the United States, to do more of this so that we will not overwhelm our planet. Now, do you go out to eat, Charlene?
I do. Not this last year, though, but
yeah,
I do, and I hope I can start doing it again.
Kind of, in a regular year. Well, when you go out, here's some ideas on fighting plastics. First of all, if you're going to order out, don't let them give you this 1 spoon, 1 fork, 1 knife. Don't let them give you this. I ended up with this one because I didn't talk fast enough and say, don't give me the silverware. I don't need it. I'm going home to eat after all. And then to take leftovers home, ah, Southwest Deli. This is what they gave me my sandwich when we couldn't eat there. This is what they gave me and this is cardboard. This is cardboard. I always try to keep one at home in case somebody's going to take leftovers home and I don't have to give them a plastic. But I also, excuse me, just a minute. I also have my own kit. I'm going to starve you to death. I have my own kit to take to the when we go out to eat, and it's got a piece of tinfoil in case the office doesn't have the kitchen doesn't have tinfoil. I say, I'm just gonna give me a piece of tinfoil and I'll take my lunch home. I have a littler one, and I do still use plastic sometimes, but these are already so old that they are leaching chemicals into the food. So my daughter says it's time to toss those. So I will be without. So I will bring one of my other containers in my nice little kit to go out. It doesn't take but a few seconds to refuse plastic. Refuse this. If they want to give you, I know a lot of the stores are, we went out to a place yesterday and I wanted iced tea, but the only thing they were serving it in were styrofoam cups. And I'll tell you what, folks, I ain't doing styrofoam. It takes 500 years. That's 500 years to disintegrate in the landfill. And I don't know about you, but I'm not going to do that to my grandkids. So, just say to them, I'm sorry, but I can't come anymore. I decided it was just something that we weren't going to do. Oh, speaking of shopping, those 2 tomatoes that you're going to go get, 2 little tomatoes, and you want to be able to weigh them, and you usually use one of these bags, right? And this is P.W. Mom's favorite food because you can't recycle those. Even if you wanted to, you can't recycle them because they jam up the machines. This is a little net bag that I made, and I just had some scrap net, and I just made like 30 of these little bags for friends and family. And this is what we use when we go to the grocery store to capture our 2 tomatoes or our 2 apples or whatever. Now, I told you, I confessed that I buy these. Well, when I was doing this program, I realized that, why am I buying these? $7 a package. For how many ounces? Geez, $7. You know what? I can take my own bag, walk over to the bulk at King Soopers and get the same thing. Actually, the cost's less and great quality. It's fresh. You don't know how long this package has been sitting there. And you do know that when they deal with bulk, it's a little bit fresher than all of that stuff. Now, we make ourselves feel better about some of this plastic because we say, oh, well, I'll just recycle it, right? Only 9% of our trash is ever recycled. 9%. That means 89% of our trash is going in the landfill. Washes down to the river, washes down to the ocean. Oh my God, we are feeding the monster. So, try to do the best you can. Recycle. Here in Pueblo, we have Roots Recycling, Pueblo's own Recycle Works, Southern Colorado Services and Recycling, and the list goes on. The list goes on. And I do like my Roots Recycling because they come to the house and they give me 2 bags. One to put the glass in, one to put the cardboard and plastic and paper cardboard in. Now, the biggest change that you can make, I mean, all of this will make a difference. It really, at 4 pounds per person per day, when you do this, it will make a difference. But The biggest change you can make is to influence people. Be an activist. That's not a bad word. That means be active in your own planet. Send letters to the manufacturers of products that you like this juice, this that I have here. I sent a letter to maple syrup because they package in paper in glass, and then the last time I went, it was in plastic. So I didn't buy it, and I went to somebody that still had the glass in stock, and I told them, "You're going the wrong way. This is not the way to do it." But you also need to praise the people who are packaging in glass because they could go the other way. One of the beverages I like, a tea, um, they used to be in glass. I'd buy it at loaf and jug. Now, went back, it's in plastic, which means I'm not going to buy it. Also, in terms of influence, you want to influence the voters, next generation of voters. When you're walking with children, take a trash bag. Take them on a cleanup program. Also, we want to elect people that acknowledge we have a problem. We have a problem. So help elect people that know that this is not fake news. We talked about influencing your favorite eatery to maybe get some cardboard take-home containers or not use plastic. And the biggest one is just talk to your friends and family. We can do this. We really can do this. There's things like Mindful Mama on the internet or Glass Dharma. 100 Ways Plastic Free with Beth Terry. Love this book. Really got me on the way. So even after this pandemic is over, what I'd like to do is partner with the library, and maybe we'll have a couple of sessions, like when we can get in a room together again, where we can share ideas with each other. I don't bill myself as an expert. I just read a lot of books, and I determined that I was not going to saddle my grandkids with this. Charlene, do you have a question? I bet you do.
Well, actually, I do have a question, but tell us the name of the recycling places again.
Recycling places, Roots Recycling.
Recycle Works.
The Roots is in the name of it. I thought I copied it down correctly.
Okay, Roots Recycling. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Or Recycle Works, one word, is here in Pueblo. That's the city-based one. And also Southern Colorado Services and Recycling was on the internet, and I've never visited them.
And could you repeat those the websites again?
Mindful Mama, one word of course, .com. The other one is Glass Dharma, DHARMA.com. And then Beth Terry's website is myplasticfreelife.com. And she's a radical. She's really radical.
And she has 100 ways to...
100 ways listed, and she puts that on the internet. You don't have to buy the book for that. She keeps that on the internet.
Okay.
But she shared a simple thing with us. She shared, she went to buy some deli meat, and they put it in, it's in plastic. It's in containers, right? So she asked at the deli counter for a pound of sliced turkey, and he wrapped it up in plastic. She goes, no. I'm asking for it here at the deli because I want it wrapped in paper. And the guy had to go ask his boss if he could wrap it in paper for her. And of course the answer was yes. You know, they don't want to chase away customers because they're being so particular, but it's a paper wrap, but it's plastic, and of course you're not going to recycle it because it's, got your food particles on it, so it's something you're going to throw away, but it disintegrates in the landfill is the point. So I gave you those. And
we need to go back to the past, because when I was growing up in the San Luis Valley, when we used to go get our meat, they wrapped it in paper. I don't remember plastic. plastic. It was always, we called it, I think, butcher paper.
Yeah, I remember that.
And sometimes we'd draw on it, but it was butcher paper that they used to wrap all the meat in.
Yeah. Well, they still have it, and it's brown now instead of being the bleached white. Same thing. It's got kind of a wax on one side that goes toward the product, and then they just wrap it up and tape it. Hey, you got it.
Yeah. Well, I think you have a special guest that you haven't talked about. What about that monster beside you?
P.W. Mon.
Yes.
He has his own calling card. On his calling card, it says P.W. Mon for plastic waste monster. Let's not let the fancy name get past you. But P.W. Mon, P.W. Mon, he eats everything you want to give him. He was born on Earth Day last year, 2020. We stood on the corner with P.W. and he waved at all the people going by and honking at him. And we just don't want to make him any bigger than he is now.
You want to shrink him, don't you?
Yes. I actually want him to die.
Okay, well, I have a question, Deborah. You seem very passionate about getting rid of plastic. How do you maintain that in the middle of your regular life and amid all the other causes you fight for?
Charlene, it's easy enough to say, I'm just going to work for this one cause. This is going to be it. This is my passion. I'm going to give it everything I've got. But that's a luxury in today's environment. It really is a luxury that we just can't afford, and our planet can't afford it either. Our planet just can't afford it. I was going to make some little buttons that my partner Bob Pacheco designed, little buttons, that say "Save the planet, no more plastic," and he designed it. And I went through iterations trying to figure out how am I going to make this without plastic. And then I figured out after the fact that you have to have them printed onto metal, and that'll do it. So as soon as I have a bunch of those, Charlene, I'll give you those. But you cannot. I have so many projects that I'm working on. We haven't even begun to talk about the science of pollution. And that's something that we need to talk about. It's a discussion, though, for another day. These things I've mentioned are the least of what one family can do. And if you get your kids to buy into it, they're going to be giving you gifts and allow you to throw away your plastic. Get rid of it. Don't ever buy it again. I bought a large igloo jug. And when I go to meetings, I take that big igloo jug full of water for the people in my group. And I take a case of jelly jars, and those are the drink glasses we use instead of providing water bottles for our meeting participants. That's what we do, so that we're getting as far away from plastic as we can. Everybody can do more. I can do more. You can do more. But realize that every time you feed PW, it gets worse and worse. So please be a friend to the planet, and no more plastics. Thank you for giving the opportunity to me, Charlene and Megan, to talk about this. And I welcome any questions that your listeners, your readers may have. Answer them to best of my ability, and ask other people when I don't know, because that's what you do when you're an activist. Thank you again.
Thank you, Deborah. And once again, we have many books about this. And of course, like I said, 1970, April 22nd was the first Earth Day. And so we'll be celebrating it again next week. So please consider doing something, once a day, and it'll become a habit, and you will save the planet. Again, and like I said, we have a lot of books. One of my favorite books is, of course, Rachel Carson's Silent Spring that she wrote in 1962. And it raised public awareness and concern for living organisms, the environment, and the inextricable links between pollution and public health. And this is what we just talked about, that we talked about plastics. We haven't even talked about pollution. So I hope that you can come back soon and talk about pollution. Will you do that?
Sure. Thank you, Charlene.
All right. And so love Earth Day. I love celebrating Earth Day. Poet laureate Lalo Delgado would come to Pueblo every year. He came for 5 years to promote Earth Day and stopping all the plastic and pollution. So April 22nd is coming up. Let's all do our part. And please continue listening to our programs. And once again, Deborah, thank you very much.
Thank you,